fundraising relatively simpler than I had anticipated. I tentatively set a target of £150, believing that I would struggle to even achieve that. But in the end, I raised £185 and I'm pretty satisfied with that, although I think it could have been more. I just don't like asking people for money. It seems really ridiculous because it means that much to me. But it's a personal thing. I'm quite independent and I just don't like asking people for help. It's a mindset that I'm determined to change. I didn't ask anyone directly for any money at all. And I have friends and family who didn't donate. And really, I should have nudged them and said, you know, you've not sponsored me and I'm doing really well at not drinking, you know, just, it doesn't have to be a lot of money, just, you know, a couple of quid or whatever. And even like whilst I was out at parties or like having a few drinks with friends and I was drinking Coke and we were talking about that and having a bit of a laugh about it, but at that point I should have said, you know, you can sponsor me and go on to Just Giving and what have you. But and then there were people who would come to me and say, oh, you know, I've not forgotten about you, I've seen your updates on Facebook, I am going to sponsor you. And instead of saying, oh, you know, why don't you do it now, it's dead easy, I was saying, oh, no, you know, you don't have to. I didn't feel like I wanted people to. It was really, I wanted them to, but I didn't want to sort of encourage them to do it. It's really weird. I won't do it again. Like I say, I did post regular updates on my Just Giving page and then sort of transferred those updates with another little message for family and friends to let them know that I was still doing it, that I was still dry and they could still make a donation. And then when people did make a donation, I was like leaving, I know an email went from Just Giving as well, but I was leaving an email, a message on the wall as well saying, thanks very much, you know, it means the world to me, and to cancer research and what have you. I thought the fundraising pack would have been useful. Had I been working in a better environment, I definitely would have like put up the poster, and I certainly was really excited about receiving it and, you know, what would be in it and all this kind of thing. And in a way, it reminded me of when you get like a race pack, you know, before like a 10K or whatever. So again, it made me feel like I was doing something, you know, really worthwhile and not something silly. I did pledge some of my own money as well, though I think I could have donated more. I feel a bit guilty actually about not donating anymore, because I'm sure that I read somewhere that the money that you would normally spend on alcohol, you should be like donating to cancer research during that month, and that would have been interesting to see, but I don't know whether I might have been a tiny bit afraid of actually transferring the money that I was spending on alcohol previously onto that page, because I was a bit worried about what it might say about me, because I was definitely buying like 2 bottles of wine a week. And actually, if I'm honest, probably a bit more, so probably a lot more. So it would have meant me like putting on sort of, if I'm honest, if I'm realistic, now that it's just me and you, I'd say probably £40 to £50 a week on alcohol, and that money should definitely go to cancer research. That's what the whole thing was about, but I just didn't do it. And thoughts on the Golden Pass? Well, at first I thought that was brilliant, and I saw it as it was meant to be, like a get out of jail free card, and I thought, well, I can use it for this event and this event. But thinking about it afterwards, I thought, actually, if people are sponsoring me to be dry for the month, then I should be dry for the month, and I don't want people pledging sort of £5 for me or £10 for me to be dry, and then I have 2 nights off because I'm not doing it then. It'd be like sort of running a 10K race and only doing 5. But I would have loved a couple of nights off, don't get me wrong, it would have been brilliant, but I just wanted to stick to it and see what I could do. And when I do it again next year, if you do the same thing again next year, or even if you don't do the same thing again next year and I just do it for myself, I'll definitely not use the golden pass. Because I want to do the whole thing, and I think that's the task, isn't it? You know, to stick to. So I think it would have been. I'm waffling now, but like I think if people had seen me sort of drinking at a night out, they wouldn't have understood the fact that I wasn't drinking all the time, because I might have only seen that person sort of once during the month. So